The supplement industry makes $3 billion a year selling protein powders designed for specific eating windows. Your body doesn't actually recognize these windows. Does splitting your daily protein into 6 perfectly timed meals actually build more muscle? Or are you just making meal prep companies rich while stressing yourself out for 0 extra gains? Today I'll explain the protein absorption myth like you're 5 years old. By the end, you'll understand whether meal timing actually matters. You'll know if you've been following made-up rules that don't change your results at all. Here's what nobody tells you about the famous 30-gram protein limit. It's been repeated by fitness influencers and supplement companies so many times that everyone just accepts it as fact. You see bodybuilders eating 6 meals a day and assume there must be science backing it up. You scroll through social media and see fitness pages posting infographics about protein timing with thousands of shares. It becomes accepted wisdom simply through repetition. But when researchers actually track what happens to protein in your digestive system, something completely different emerges. Your body isn't some rigid machine with hard cutoff points. It's way more adaptable than the fitness industry wants you to believe. The idea that your body can only absorb 30 grams of protein per meal is completely wrong. Your body doesn't have a shutoff valve that slams closed at gram 30 and wastes everything else. When you eat a steak containing 70 grams of protein, your body doesn't panic. Instead, it does something smart. It slows down digestion. The process stretches over 5 or 6 hours instead of 2. Your intestines pace themselves, breaking down and absorbing protein gradually so nothing gets wasted. This is basic biology that happens automatically without you thinking about it. But here's where things get interesting. The myth actually came from real research, just misunderstood research. Scientists measured something called muscle protein synthesis, how fast your muscles respond to protein in a short window after eating. They found that 20 to 30 grams triggered a strong response, and adding more in that immediate window didn't boost it further. Here's the problem. Measuring short-term synthesis rates tells you nothing about total protein absorption over time. It's like measuring how fast water flows into a pool in the first 10 minutes and concluding that's all the water the pool can ever hold. The measurement window was too short to capture the full picture. One landmark study had people eat 70 grams of protein in one meal, then tracked absorption over the next several hours. The results showed something fascinating about digestion. Their bodies absorbed and used all of it, not just the first 30 grams. The remaining 40 grams didn't vanish or turn into waste. It got digested, absorbed, and used for building muscle tissue, exactly as it should. The only difference was timing. It took longer to process the larger amount. This study has been replicated multiple times with similar results. Yet the 30-gram myth persists because it's more profitable to sell frequent, small meals and constant supplementation. Think about filling a gas tank at the pump. You don't pump 5 gallons, drive around the block, then come back for another 5 gallons because your tank can only accept small amounts at once. You fill the whole tank in one session. Your digestive system works the same way with protein. It automatically adjusts its processing speed based on how much you give it, working efficiently whether you eat 20 grams or 80 grams at once. Now let's destroy another myth that's probably controlling your entire day. The anabolic window is that magical 30-minute post-workout period where you supposedly must consume protein immediately. Or you lose all your gains. Except that's massively overhyped. The fitness industry loves this concept because it creates urgency. Drink this shake right now or your workout was wasted. This fear-based marketing has convinced millions of people to rush from the gym to their protein shaker with near panic. But here's what research actually shows. The anabolic window stays open for hours, possibly up to 24 hours after training. What really matters is hitting your total daily protein target consistently over weeks and months. If you train at 6 a.m. and don't eat until 8 a.m., your muscles will be fine. If you finish lifting and go home to cook a real meal instead of chugging a shake in the parking lot, you're not sabotaging anything. Your body isn't that fragile or dramatic about timing. Studies comparing immediate post-workout protein to protein consumed several hours later show virtually no difference in muscle growth over time. So what actually drives muscle growth? Total daily protein intake is the real answer for building muscle mass. Most research points to somewhere between 0.7 and 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. If you weigh 150 pounds, that's roughly 105 to 150 grams daily. How you divide that across meals matters far less than hitting the total. This has been demonstrated in study after study comparing different meal frequencies with matched total protein intake. Want to eat 3 big meals throughout the entire day? Perfect. That works just fine. Prefer 5 smaller meals because it fits your schedule better? Also perfect. Do what works for your lifestyle. The difference in muscle building results between these approaches is so small, it barely registers in study. You're optimizing for the last 2%, while most people haven't nailed the first 80%. Get the basics right first before worrying about advanced timing protocols that might give you a 1% improvement at best. Here's what actually happens when you obsess over meal timing. You add massive friction to your life for almost zero benefit. You're setting alarms and packing containers constantly. You're interrupting work to eat your 4th meal of the day. You're feeling guilty when life interferes with your feeding schedule. You're declining social invitations because they don't align with your eating windows. Meanwhile, someone else eats 3 normal meals, hits the same protein total, and trains just as hard. They get identical results with way simpler rules. They're enjoying dinners with friends, sleeping in on weekends, and living a normal life while building just as much muscle. This matters because you have limited time and mental energy. Every fake rule you follow is energy you could spend on things that actually matter. Like training harder and pushing yourself in the gym. Like sleeping better and recovering properly each night. Stay consistent for months instead of burning out after 6 weeks because meal prep became a part-time job. The fitness industry loves complexity because complexity sells products. Meal timing apps that promise better results. Specialized containers for every single meal. Protein powders marketed specifically for certain windows. Pre-workout, post-workout, intra-workout, nighttime casein. There's a supplement for every imaginary problem. But your body doesn't care about any of that marketing. It cares about 3 things: total protein intake, consistent progressive training, and adequate recovery. That's the entire formula for building muscle successfully. Everything else is noise designed to make you feel like you need more products. Let me give you the actual strategy that works in real life. Eat enough protein daily to hit that 0.7 to 1 gram per pound target. Spread it across however many meals fit your lifestyle without making you miserable. Train hard and progressively increase the challenge to your muscles over time. Sleep enough so your body can actually recover and build new tissue. Stay consistent for months, not just a few weeks here and there. That's it. It's not complicated or sexy. It doesn't require specialized apps or custom meal plans timed to the minute. It doesn't give supplement companies much to sell you. But it builds muscle without turning your entire life into a never-ending cycle of meal prep and timer watching. Some people argue that meal timing matters for elite athletes trying to squeeze out every last fraction of performance. Maybe that's true for professional bodybuilders getting paid to optimize everything down to the gram. But that's not you. You're trying to build muscle, look better, feel stronger, and enjoy your life in the process. For you and 99% of people watching this, total daily protein matters infinitely more than when you eat it. Focus on the fundamentals first. Hit your total protein. Train consistently with progressive overload. Sleep well. Manage stress. Once you've mastered all of that for a solid year and you're still looking for an edge, then maybe start experimenting with meal timing. But not before. Here's your recap. Your body doesn't have a 30-gram shutoff valve. It digests larger protein amounts over several hours and absorbs it completely. The anabolic window is way longer than 30 minutes, and missing it won't destroy your progress. What actually matters is total daily protein intake around 0.7 to 1 gram per pound of body weight. How you spread that across meals is almost entirely personal preference based on your schedule and hunger patterns. Stop following unnecessary rules that make your life harder without improving your results. The fitness industry profits from complexity, but your body responds to simplicity. Eat enough protein. Train hard, recover well, stay consistent. So here's my question for you. What unnecessary fitness rule have you been following that's making your life harder? Are you ready to drop it and focus on what actually builds muscle instead?